Hi there, Mark Pelley here, Registered Migration Agent at Visas to Australia. Today we're going to be talking about the Child Visa Subclass 802. Now this is an onshore application for children already in Australia that allows them to stay here indefinitely with their parents. Cost of this visa is $2,665 to apply for. This visa is suitable for biological, step and adopted children of Australian citizens, permanent residents or eligible New Zealand citizens. The Child Visa Subclass 802 is a permanent visa allowing the child to stay in Australia indefinitely. They can travel to and from Australia for up to 5 years. However, after this point, if they wish to continue to do so, they need to either apply for Australian citizenship or resident return visa. The visa entitles them to Medicare, work and study here in Australia. To be eligible for this visa, you'll need to be a dependent child of a parent who is an Australian citizen, permanent visa holder or eligible New Zealand citizen. You must be under 18, between 18 and 25 and be a full-time student and demonstrate financial dependence on the parent, or be over the age of 18 and unable to work due to a disability. You must be single and dependent on a parent. You must be inside Australia for the application and when a decision is made on the visa. The Child Visa Subclass 802 can only be applied for children who are adopted in very specific circumstances. The adoption can have happened either before or after the parent became an Australian citizen, permanent visa holder or eligible New Zealand citizen. If the child was adopted after their parent became an Australian citizen, permanent visa holder or eligible New Zealand citizen, they must have been adopted in specific circumstances. The adoption must have occurred through an inter-country adoption with the involvement of an Australian state or territorial central authority, or through an inter-country adoption by arrangement between the two countries that other than Australia that are party to the Hague Convention on the Protection of Children and Cooperation in respect to inter-country adoption, or if no Australian state or territory was involved, through an expatriate adoption by an Australian citizen, eligible New Zealand citizen or holder of an Australian permanent visa who was living outside Australia for more than 12 months before the adoption was finalised. If we're referring to stepchildren, then the stepchild must be the child of the step-parent's former partner, aged under the age of 18, and the step-parent must also have an Australian parenting order in force that says the child is to live with them and be looked after by them, or guardianship and custody of the child under Australian law or the law of another country. Other requirements that need to be met for a child visa are that if the child has siblings who also want to apply, then they will need to submit separate applications for each sibling. If the child themselves has dependent children, then they can apply at the time of the application or any time prior to making the application. Dependent children of the child must also meet relevant health requirements, and they will need to be sponsored by an eligible parent, parent spouse or de facto partner. All people applying will need to meet the relevant health requirements and have paid back any debts to the Australian Government. The Department of Home Affairs must determine that it is in the best interest of a child for this visa to be granted. It is important to note that there must be the written consent of both parents who can legally decide where the child lives, as well there must be permission by the laws of the child's home country permitting the removal of the child. When it comes to the Subclass 802 Child Visa, you want to get it right first time. It costs over 2,500 Australian dollars to apply for, and if you get it wrong, you can either be rejected and end up before the Administrative Appeals Tribunal, or have lengthy and significant delays to your visa application process. We strongly recommend to use a registered migration agency to help you apply for the child visa. If you have any questions, make sure you give us a call here at Visas to Australia. We can help you with all aspects of the application, including document preparation, legal submissions, the application itself, case management, correspondence, and much more. Mark Pelley here, Registered Migration Agent at Visas to Australia. We look forward to showing you more videos about different types of Australian visas.